Welcome to Return of the Obra Dinn, a game that I recommend you play, even if you... well, I'd rather you play it than watch this video, but still, it's an amazing experience, and we'll go through it together if you want. So, lost at sea in 1803, the good ship Obra Dinn. Built 1796 in London, 800 tons and 18 feet in draught, with Captain R. Witterell. It was supposed to go to the Orient Cape, and, well, that's how we start. Well, that's this poster. So, this ship was lost in 1803, and, well, this game takes mostly place in, well, inside this ship, in the confines of this. So, here we have an assignment, as you can see, from the East India Company. The Obra Dinn has returned. Dispatch to Falmouth immediately and prepare a full assessment. This is a mystery puzzle game. It has a very interesting story behind it.
Company man woke me up. Said you'd need ferry to the Obra Dinn. Not many eager for that job. Seems a bit late if you ask.
I didn't.
What's in the box?
I don't know. I'll hoist it up in a few minutes.
Hey! How?
Carefully.
So here we are. Here's our rowman, and we're just by the ship. As you can see, that's a rather interesting art style. It is meant to emulate the Macintosh games of yesteryear. And here we are, on top of the Obra Dinn. The sails are torn and tattered. Loads, well, the whole ship looks derelict. Here's the wheel, and here's a skeleton. Well, that doesn't look too promising. And another thing that we can see if we go like...
Oi! It's too heavy!
Here, this little twinkly star beneath the horizon. Wonder what that is. Anyway, so the guy is whining that it's too heavy, so we might as well go down there and fetch it up for him since he's a little bitch.
It's too heavy. Take it yourself or open it here.
Well, we're gonna open it here. So here's a book. And if we open it, we see that it's called The Return of the Obra Dinn, a catalogue of adventure and tragedy. So I'll let you read this. I'm gonna just read things that I consider to be of interest. So we're told to use the pocket watch to determine the identity and fate of everyone on board, and complete each chapter accurately and return the book by guaranteed post to the French Office of Affairs in Morocco. Another thing is, the bargain chapter will remain unknown to you. I possess the details within, but have elected to keep them private for now. So we basically will have to deal with this sooner or later. So we see the chapters: loose cargo, bitter cold, murder, the calling, unholy captives, soldiers of the sea, the doom. Well, that sounds a bit more dramatic. This chapter, which will remain unknown to me, and empty, the escape, and finally the end. So we have some more information, like what each of these jobs are, what rigging is. These definitions, basically for people that are not familiar with the terminology, I guess. And we have this ominous image over here. We'll get back to that later. Whoa, what does this look like? Memento Mortem. So there we go. This is what we have on us for this journey ahead of us. So we go back on the upper deck of the Obra Dinn. Here we see a cage, some ropes. This seems to be out of commission. Nothing here either. But we have to go to the main topic of interest here, the skeleton. Well, and if it seems that the pocket watch also has the engraving of a skull on it. So what happens when we use it on the skeleton?
Captain! Open the door! Kick it in. Ah! Lest we break it down and take more than those shells!
You bastards may take exactly what I give you!
Whoa. So okay, that's a lot to take in. This watch allows us to see the moment of death, I guess? So this is the guy that's in the floor, well, whose skeleton is in the floor. There's a man behind him. There's someone else here as well. And he's being shot by this man right here with a pistol. Well, apparently he referred to him as Captain, so maybe we can use that ahead of us. But this is like the first thing we see, the first bit of info we get, so we're gonna just sort of see how it goes. Okay, so we magically know the sequence of events. Don't question it. So we don't know who he is, but we can be pretty positive of how he died. He was shot by a gun. So that's what happened right here. There's nothing else to digest in this scene. We do have to wonder where this guy goes though. He has a knife between his teeth. We'll have to see how that ties in later. And if it ties in, I mean, who knows? Alright, so this guy was shot to death. But we're not done yet. Because here we have another skeleton. Who could that be?
Where are they? Must be in here someplace.
They're at the bottom of the sea.
That's a lie.
Alright, so this is the man who was behind the shot man. There was a struggle and I guess you could say he was knifed. He slit his throat. The other man is nowhere to be seen, I think. is he? He's here. It takes quite a lot of agility to get through there. So, again, we don't know who this is, but we can determine their, well, fate. He was, well, knifed. By now, like, you probably know who the attacker is, but let's not be hasty, okay? We need confirmation. We need to be positive about this, right? So, this is a discarded gun. However, this isn't the only skeleton we find. Could this be the skeleton of the captain? Let's find out. So this didn't have any words, but we could tell that there was this guy choking on his own blood. This man came up behind the cab. Well, this man over here, who let's assume is the captain, stabbed him, and then captain clubbed him basically to death. It seems with a lot of force as well. That's quite a scene, right? This chamber is open to us, but oh, well, I guess we're not gonna explore it after all. So, again, we're left with a clear fate, but not a clear identity. So, well, yeah. This is not it. We can say that he was clubbed. And, as I said, let's be open. However, this also opened another door. But let's see what's in here. A woman under blankets. Is this woman there now? Let's find out. Okay, well, now that door's opened. And we see a skeleton. And we see... well, that's the woman, right? But we saw him first, so... let's see what that is about.
Abigail. Your brother. My friend. I shot him. Dead. I'll be with you soon, my love. Please forgive me for everything.
So, after killing these three people, which is quite impressive actually, he chose to, instead of bleeding out, shoot himself. The woman didn't respond. So, here's another feature. So if we zoom in on a face and we open the book, we can see the face. And we can assume from what he says that this is Abigail. And he's not kidding, decisive information is rare. This is probably the most spoken info that we'll get in total. Like, this is probably the most info we'll be getting. And it's no wonder that this is in the beginning of the game. Okay, so we're looking for an Abigail. Abigail Hoscott Witterell from Scotland. Which in turn makes this her husband, I guess. So she has both of those names, but the middle name is Hoscott, so it's pretty reasonable to assume that that's her maiden name. So that would make Robert Witterell her husband, while also being the captain. We don't know who this is, but now we know who this is. That's the captain's first mate. And he was shot by the captain. Yes. Alright, so let's fill in the details so far. So, as I said, this is Captain Witterell, and he met an unknown fate. No, he didn't. He suicided by gun. So doing this opened up the lower deck. And, well, I guess it's only in order for us to see what happened to Abigail. Well, the problem is, of course... Oh, by the way, when you finish the memories of a chapter, you're in... you get this scene, in a way. Anyway. So Abigail wasn't moving when her husband was talking to her, and implying from his wording, well, it's implied, I guess, she was already dead. So let's see how it happened. I mean, shit. Well, look at that. Part of the rigging fell. So, she was talking to someone named Martin, so I can assume that it's whoever was trying to get her. Oh, what a way to die. So, again, we can reasonably assume that this is someone named Martin. So, let's see. We have Martin Perot. Any other Martins? Nope. No other Martin on board. So it didn't take a lot of elimination for that to However, this one is going to be tricky for us. So, that's how she died. We see two females here. And someone else. So, if we pay close attention, you'll see that this one, first of all, is the older one. And also... Okay, like, this is far-fetched, I know, but you can see that she's wearing a ring. For more details on that, we'll come back to it later. For now, let's just keep it. But we see that in that shot, that woman is wearing a ring. I probably sound like a crazy person noticing these things. But, well, yeah. Those are things you have to notice. So, now we know her fate. She was crushed by rigging. So that happened. But something's wrong. Look at the pocket watch. It's shaking. What happens if we use it? It leads us here into the mangled corpse of a man. Okay, so this white mist has come out of the watch, and it puts ahead of us a recreation of the body of the man we saw in the memory. Which is fair, I mean. By the way, this is obviously game mechanic. I mean. Otherwise, determining the 60 face would be much more arduous. And it already is arduous, don't get me wrong. But anyway, we leave that for later. So, let's see how this man got so bad in